What is up, guys? If you are a dental student, new dentist, or thinking about being a dentist, and you're wondering, is this the right choice? Did I make the right choice, right? This video is for you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything with you guys. I literally just had probably one of the toughest weeks of my career, and I'll tell you about it later, but it's in these times when you're really tested in if you're doing the right thing. So I'm not gonna BS you guys, I'm gonna give it to you straightforward and share the real truth about what this profession is like and why it's so important for you to know this before you get into dentistry. Because a lot of the people you see talking negatively about dentistry, complaining about it, saying that it's not worth the loans and et cetera, probably had no idea what it really was like and got blindsided, and they were in too deep, too invested to kind of switch their careers. So you need to watch this before you either graduate or get into dental school. So first and foremost, right, let's talk about how social media loves to show you the glamorous side of dentistry or just completely tear it apart, right? Today, I'm gonna give you the unfiltered reality, the good, the bad, the ugly, and why I still love what I do despite all the crazy stuff that happened this week. So first and foremost, let me just paint you a picture of what happened this week, right? I had toxic dental assistants, recruiting the other assistants to leave to this other competitor office, short staff with doctors, which means I had to see twice as many patients. Had a couple of patients, with unreasonable complaints. One patient had their insurance company denied to approve the amount they were supposed to contribute to the patient's treatment. And this patient went and filed a complaint to the New Jersey State Dental Board because of a financial issue. No issue with the treatment I did. The implant was great. Implant crown was amazing. Patient was happy with me, but because of the financial situation, still filed the complaint, which happens, guys. So all this together really was just a lot of chaos. And here's the actual kicker is despite all this chaos going on, we had one of our most productive months in the office, like within the last year. So, the numbers aren't always a reflection of what's going on. And, I had some dark days this week. When all these problems are going on, they could stack up, right? The difficult patients, the staffing drama, insurances. It can get really overwhelming. And this is when your, love for dentistry gets tested. So I'm gonna tell you everything they didn't prepare you for in dental school, okay? And let's break it down. So here are the harsh realities of being a dentist, right? First, you're constantly dealing with people all day. So if you're someone who doesn't have experience being in this type of business, whether it was being a waiter, a cashier, anywhere where you're just dealing with people, being a dentist is no different, right? Out of all the people that are coming into the office, there's going to be a percentage, a smaller percentage, but a percentage of patients who honestly have mental illness, who have, crazy life events that's happened to them, have anxiety, and they come into the office with these problems and really don't care about you or what you have going on, right? Even though you're there to help them. So if you're not prepared for this or have experience in dealing with people or willing to learn how to deal with people, right? Read the books that help you understand like human psychology and things like that, this profession probably won't be for you, right? The second thing is there's a lot of turnover and a lot of changes that happen very frequently in dentistry. It's a super dynamic field, right? There's a high turnover of dental assistants because, either the good ones, they level up, they become hygienists, or they go somewhere else that, offers a better offer. And quite frankly, the wages for a dental assistant in today's economy just isn't really one that where they're able to kind of make a sustainable living on their own and be independent. So because of that, they don't really see this as a long-term career, all right? Third is that the business is relentless, right? With DSOs and all these competitors and insurance companies reimbursing less and less, it's tough, right? And if you don't understand or are willing to learn the business of dentistry, you will be pretty much just, winging it, right? And being at the mercy of just your patients, at the mercy of your staff, and you won't be able to have control, right? And that's what really leads to success. When I went from, making kind of what the average dentist made to closer to the top 1%, it had nothing to do with clinical skills, right? It was all about me understanding how to deal with people and how to understand the operations and the business side of things. But here's what I've learned after being in this field, right? Resilience is everything. You have to be resilient. And part of this has to do with all the things you're doing outside of the office. That's what really matters. That's what's gonna allow you to have longevity, satisfaction, and success, right? Because the moment you leave the office, whatever you're doing to take care of yourself, to make sure your mental health is good, to make sure that you're on top of your schedule, right? Having a routine that allows you to be proactive and not reactive, that's when you're gonna have success. I remember a dental school attendant always told me, take care numero uno, right? Numero uno is you. You guys, if you don't know, I have invested so much time and money into, things outside of, the office to make sure that I'm good, I'm happy, that I come into the office every day upbeat, right? I have a sauna. As you see here in my home, I'm a lover of art. I collect art. I took, tennis lessons. I did, executive coaching, meditation coaching, all these things to basically help me do the inner work, have peace within myself, and be able to just have such an intense amount of resilience, and having my threshold for stress be so high that now when I'm in the office and all these things are going on, it's just like, okay, all right, I'm thinking just what's the solution, right? I'm not letting it get to me. I'm not carrying it with me, for a long time. Yes, you're gonna carry some of the stress, but you really have to just really treat yourself like a professional athlete, right? Like you have all the stuff that they do off the court is what allows them to have success on the court. And the same applies to you as a dentist. So here's the reality and what social media doesn't show you, all right? Once you get your systems right, you understand clinical operations, you are building up that resilience, dentistry can be extremely rewarding, right? You are able to help a lot of people. You will have those cases where you change someone's life, right? I'll put a video here, to just show you an example of that. All right. How we doing, Marsha?
Hi, I'm Marsha. I'm a client for your son, and I just want to say that he has really changed my life in tremendous ways. I'm able to smile again. I haven't smiled in 20 years. And you brought an amazing young man in this world, and I hope you're so proud of him. He's unbelievable, and I'm very grateful.
Thank you so much, Marsha. Thank you.
I mean it.
Yeah. But you will be able to allow patients to smile, right? To be more confident, to eat better, right? Some patients come in and they haven't eaten, a good meal in a long time. This could be, really rewarding. And when things go right, it's, the feeling that it gives you is worth more than any money that you can earn. And speaking of money, the income potential is real. Yes, there's a lot of student loans, and I know you guys see all these videos talking about it day in and day out, but you should be focused more on how to be the best at what you do, how to be the best for your patients, and the money will come, right? I've been practicing 2 to 3 years now, and this year I'm on track to make over $500,000, right? And yes, there's dentists making way more, and it's not just about the money, guys, but I am able to earn a living where I don't really have to stress about a lot of things financially. And you want to be in that same position. You don't want to be worried about a student loan bill or anything really, because that's not going to be able to have you have that abundant, kind of energy and mentality to you to go into the office and to continually to pour into your patients when you have like a lot of these things kind of tugging on your mind. Another thing is that every day is different in dentistry. There's so many things that you will encounter and learn and see. And for me personally, I love that. I love the, challenges and the problems I have to solve every day and just not being at a cubicle, right? Which to me would be extremely boring. So if you're someone that likes that, this is probably the best field where you can do that in, right? So to close this out, guys, if you are considering dentistry, you have to be built for it, right? This isn't just for someone who wants to just fix teeth, go home, not worry about anything else. You need to be resilient, adaptable, and willing to constantly grow and look yourself in the mirror. But if you can learn the balance, the business side, it can be extremely rewarding. You have to invest in yourself, in your wellness, maintain a balanced work life, and don't let all this social media stuff get to your head, right? You are on your own journey, on your own path, and it's what you make of it. Let's be honest, the bad weeks just make the good weeks even better. So I hope this helped, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the link in the description to join my free school community where you can talk to me one-on-one. And for those of you more serious, you can book time with me to assess your situation and figure out how we can help you to not just have success, but more peace of mind and building a career that you can be proud of. So Dr. Andrew Wildman, Good to see you guys. See you in the next one. Peace.